Hey guys, so on Friday afternoon I put up some settings on the in the group for the strategy. So I'm just going to run them. I've recorded the playback data on my PC. I wasn't up for New York. I was way fast asleep by then. So we'll have a look at the strategy settings. I said it was a 1 retracement with a 28 stop and a 21 target. And we have 2 entries per direction. Okay, so that was the setting on the MNQ. And what I've done is I've done the same settings on the NQ as well. So I've got a 1 retracement, 28 stop, 21 target with 2 entries per direction. Okay, so I'll go to the strategies and we'll enable them in a moment. So I'm going to start this. I'll go back to the data series too. So I've got 128 as the bar on both of the charts. Okay, as you can see there. And I've got an account here with 12,000 in it. So my idea is, to have 10,000 available for this strategy and 2,000 available for the micro strategy. Alright, so we're going to just see how that runs, and I've got 10:29, so I'm just going to just start the clock on that. Okay, so I just fixed up the clock over there. So 10:29. My idea is to start this at 10:30. So I'm just going to go into the properties here and just increase the size of the grid, so we can see clearer there what's happening. Okay. Alright, so almost there. So 128 with a 21 target. So that's the parameters over there. So as soon as that hits 10:30, I'm actually going to just enable these strategies. Well, I can enable them now because they will be in the pending stage like that. So you click start when it hits. So I'm going to start and start. Okay, so that's 10:30. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just speed this up as we go. Now you're going to see lots of baselines breaking here because it's a relatively small brick. It's actually a very, very small brick for the NQ and the MNQ. But well, look, we've already had our first target there. Just going to see what's going on with this strategy. 2 entries per direction, 1 retracement. Okay. That should have actually exited already. What's going on here? Okay, good. So it just didn't show the stop. Okay, no problem. So that's all going good. Alright, so there we've had our first few positions already closed, and now I'm going to speed it up. So a lot of action there. A lot of baselines breaking. I'm going to run this for 2 hours exactly. Wow, look at all those baselines breaking. Make sure this is all centered properly. So it took some big losses in the beginning. Now it seems to be turning around. So it's amazing how the profits can actually it can go bad for a period, and then it can completely reverse, as we've seen there. It's quite phenomenal actually. As soon as the market gets that momentum and runs, it really flies by the look of it. So a bit of bouncing around there, so a lot of bouncing around there of price. So that's the machines, they just want to take out the stops. So they move the price, they trend the price, and then they bounce the price around to take out stops so that they can run the price in their direction again. So we're almost going for an hour, so 45 minutes of trading. We're up 3.5 on the NQ 4000, and that's including commission. So if I just right click on this as a matter of interest, that's going to come up, and you've got 1,300 in commission already. So that's after commission. 358 trades, so a huge amount of trades, and that's just based on that small brick size. So we're up to 5,900 between the two, and we've been going for almost an hour. So it was 10:30 and now it's now 11:26, so 55 minutes. They hit the 5,000. So I'm definitely experimenting with a few different size bars. Now this is a very, very small bar, so I'm thinking of going to a 45 bar, even if maybe a 67 bar, but having the target. So if I go a 67 bar, for example, I will go still a 1 retracement with 2 entries per direction, but I would go a 71 target or a 61 target and then a 76 stop. So you want to keep your targets and your stops relatively close together. You don't want to have a huge difference between the target. And the benefit with running the strategy with a one retracement, if I just increase the size of this, is you're getting huge percentages of the baseline in trade. So you're not just, so before we were just trading back to the baseline and we're missing out all of these gaps in between. So with this, if I page back, we're getting a huge amount of positions that are following the baseline, and they're entering as the price goes. Alright, so let's minimize that and we'll look at the NQ. Yeah, so same thing there. It's amazing how the bars, the trades are filling these bars beautifully, you see. So before we were taking trades, from this area here to the baseline, and we're missing out all these ticks in between. So by utilizing a higher target, we actually taking advantage of more of the bar than we were previously. But I think we just have to come up with a better size bar to work with. So I encourage you guys to play around with different size bars and different size targets and different size stops. Leave the retracement reasonably low, so 1, 2, 3, because that's going to really get us to have more positions and take advantage of more of the baseline. So we'll run this until 12:30. So it's 11:44. So that'll be exactly 2 hours of trading. Yes, I'm going to load up the playback data into the shared folder in the OneDrive folder, so you can even load this up yourself and then run periods of the day. So it's not designed to run 23 hours a day, because it will be a losing strategy if it's run permanently. But if you pick out some key periods of the day and you let it run during those periods, and I would say a 2 hour span would be all that you will want to do. You pick a time. I like 10:30 because it's after the mad rush of New York opening, and it's up until 12:30, so it's just before lunch. It's in that period where things are kind of stabilized, after the markets open. So we're almost at 12. So we'll run it until 12:30, so exactly 2 hours. So I'm gonna run this live also during the week. I'm gonna set it to trade between certain hours of the day, and you guys can do the same. So pick 10:30 to 12:30 Monday to Friday this week, and run the strategy. Maybe have a few different bar sizes that you can work with, and who knows, between all of us we might come up with some really good settings that we can maybe do less trades, because this bar size is so many trades. If we can even do, find a bar size that is, a larger bar size, that we can have less positions and then have more runs of price. Because as you can see, we have, a lot of, when these baselines break there's a lot of losing positions over there, but on a larger brick, those won't happen as much. But there's definitely potential in this. You know, if we find a better brick size to work with, I'm sure we can really come up with something really cool and profitable. So we've dropped quite a bit since the high earlier. Let's see where we end up. It's pretty impressive, still based on a $12,000 account, running two strategies like this, because it's only 2 entries per direction, you see, so you're not having a huge amount of entries at once, so you know, no risk of margin calls and things like that. Like I said, 12.21. So this is probably not the ideal brick size, because I think we're going to see a lot of trades. So we want to try and limit that a bit. Okay, so we're getting to 12.25. We almost cracked 10,000. That's pretty impressive. 26. Okay, so I'll slow this right down for the last few minutes, or the last few seconds actually, of this. So we're getting to the 12.30, and get that a little bit faster. Okay, so what we'll do is we will click on the close all on that one and the close all on that one. Okay, now that should kill all the positions. So there should be no more trades taking place after that. Okay, so while the market's still running there, I'm going to right click and I'm going to check the strategy performance during that period. And we had the, I'll move this. We had the MNQ do 783 trades with a 58% accuracy, 814. Okay, so that is the history of that. So that's a lot of trades. It's a lot of trades, but it does take into consideration the commission. You see, all the commission is calculated into that. So we went as low as, what was the highest, what was our drawdown? Our drawdown was 241. Okay, so that was the maximum drawdown that we had on that while it was running, for an 800 profit. Okay, so that's that one. And let's have a look at the NQ. What happened to the NQ during that period? Okay, So the NQ we had, yeah, there we go. So 9,967 and 748 trades with a maximum drawdown of 3.3. So that's how much it went down at one stage, which is quite high, but it is over a 2-hour period, so it's pretty interesting. And there again we had our trades. So take into consideration the commission. So the commission is built into that, and that's the history of all those trades during that time frame. So we went up to 9967. So that's just an idea of how the strategy works. So I don't think this is obviously the ideal brick size, obviously not, because it's a lot of trades, but who knows, it might be ideal for somebody, and hopefully we can come up with some different brick sizes. So please do some work during the week, because I think if we master this and we master the brick sizes, we find the right sizes and the target and the stops, I think we can make this extremely profitable, and in a very short period of time, like literally like this, you could have quite a decent return. All right, so I thought I'll just throw that out there and hopefully get some feedback from you guys, and let's try and make this group really successful and profitable for everybody. So there's a lot of people even with small micro accounts. If you've got $2,500 in a micro account, and we can find a system that can make even if it's $200-300 a day for that person, it'll be incredible actually. Even if it's $200-300 a week off a small account balance like that, it's still 10% per week. So I think we definitely have opportunity and possibility in this group to really excel and take it to a whole new level. Okay, so I'll see whoever's on the call in the morning. If you feel free to jump on the call, it's at 8 p.m. New York, I think it is, which is 10 a.m. my side. Anyway, the Zoom link is in the group, as well as the time for it. So see you guys then. Okay, thank you.